ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। Acha, Sukadeva Goswami is answering Parishit Maharaj's questions. First question is answered. So what is the difference between the Lord's body and the Jiva's body? Huh? Like that you said. Big terms, I don't know this. What is this internal potency? Atma's body and the Lord's body. Mike. Where are the other students? Only 4, 5, 5, 10, 13. Huh? Bhavgrahi? Okay. And who else? Bhavgrahi. Akinchan bro, anyway, he will be out of station. He is going to somewhere. And online, they are not interested actually, online students. Slowly, day by day, they are 11 absents. 11 students absent. I don't know. Okay, no problem. Okay, tell me. Bolo. What Sukadeva Goswami said about the Jiva's body and the Lord's body. What is that? He said like that. Huh? For question, first question, what is the answer? Jai Gopinath Prabhu, yes, please.
The Lord can control the material nature, and the Jiva, who is having a material body, he cannot control the material nature, which is there in the purport of third verse.
What do, can you speak clearly, Prabhu?
Controlling the material nature, the Lord can do, and the Jivas cannot.
Oh, in which sloka it is said?
Third verse, purport.
Purport. Sloka.
Yarhivava Mahimni Sve. That verse, third verse, in that purport.
Bahurupa. Yarihi Vava.
So Yarhivava, that verse.
So that means from that verse is saying, what is the difference between Jivatma's body and the Lord's body? What difference was discussed by the Sukadeva Goswami? What is that sloka? From where you got that? Tell me. That means yesterday class is completely is. Take mic, Puneet Babu.
In sloka number 2.9.4,
Okay, 2.9.4.
Lord Brahma shows Lord shows Brahma his eternal and transcendental form.
Yes.
Atma Tattva Vishuddhartham Yadaha Bhagavan Ratam
Ah,
Brahmane Darshayam Rupam Avelika
yes.
Vrtadrata.
Ah. So what is saying this?
In Darshan Rupam is eternal form.
Why?
It is mentioned that Rupam is.
Why we should take it is eternal? There should be some logic. If someone says Rupam is eternal, we will take eternal. Is it right? It's not good. Someone say it is mango. You will accept this? अरे ये टूट ना जाए. अरे टुक टुक टुक.
Sridhar Swami tells, bro,
Ah,
that we already saw in the previous verses that Jiva is having the body because of Maya and Avidya. And in this fourth verse, Lord is showing the form, his own form,
yes.
to Brahmaji. When Brahmaji did tapasya, so Lord is showing his Swarupa.
Yes.
So you gave example, Prabhu, that like there are Puranas. So in that there are 10 topics. So 9 topics are meant to know the 10th one.
Yes.
Similarly, the Lord, for showing his Swarupa, he spoke Chatushloki Bhagavatam. Am I correct, Prabhu?
Okay, next.
So
Main point.
main point is that now Jiva is having the body because of Maya and Avidya, and Lord is showing his form to Jiva so that the Jiva will get to know his Swarupa.
How? Where it is said?
It is said in the 4th verse, Prabhu. Because Lord is showing his form to Brahmaji, and then Brahmaji is, what is that Artham? Atma Tattva Vishuddhyartham.
Ah, very good. This is the point. This, in this chapter, first sloka is saying, Jivatma is getting the body due to Maya. Jivatma is getting the connection. So what is the question is asked? So this Jivatma, which is not composed of the 23 elements, but that is getting the body which is composed of 23 elements. So is there any reason or not like this? Parikshit asked. Now we are saying, yes, there is a reason. Who is that? That is Maya is the cause for Jivatma to get body. That's we said in the first sloka. Then after that in this fourth sloka, we are saying that Brahmaji did the great vrata. Avyalika vrata means very, bhakti yoga. He did the bhakti. Vrata means here you should take bhakti. So by doing this bhakti, Lord manifested his form. So the logic is here. Prabhupada is also writing in his purport. So what? Brahmaji did this much great tapasya just to see the normal form, any material form of the anything? No, na. So he did this such a great varta means definitely that form, whatever is shown, that is very, very unique and special. Okay, that is a point. And next, by seeing that form, what is going to happen? Darshayan, Lord showed that form. For what is the purpose? Atma Tattva Vishuddhyardam, just to get So Brahmaji should get his own Swarupa, knowledge about his own Swarupa, and also knowledge about the Swarupa of the Lord. Here Atma means you should take Jiva and also Ishvara. So Atma Tattva Vishuddhyartham. So very nice. You people are hearing very carefully and you will be very successful. Keep it up. Okay. Jai Gopinath Prabhu. Yes, Jai Gopinath Prabhu.
Sir, this is the answer for the first question in the Parikshit's questions, Prabhu.
This is the answer for the difference between the Lord's body and the Jivatma's body.
Okay, I think that is the second question because I have written, as you said, second question answer.
Yeah,
I was a little confused when you asked now.
yeah.
The first question answer.
Yeah. What is the difference between the Jiva's body and the Lord's body? This is the difference.
Oh.
Jiva's body is out of Maya and the Lord's body is transcendental because that Jiva is getting purity. It is able to know about the supreme truth and about his own Swarupa. That means Lord's body is transcendental. This is the difference.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we'll go to the next sloka. Sadidevo jagatam paro guru Swadishnyamastaya sisrukshayaikshatā tam nadhya gacchadashamadrishamatra sammatam prapancha nirmana vidiryaya bhavet. Translation. Lord Brahma, the first spiritual master, Adidevaha, supreme in the universe, Jagatam Guruhu, could not trace out the source of his lotus seat. And while thinking of creating the material world, he couldn't understand the proper direction for such creative work, nor could he find out the process for such creation. What happened one day? Once upon a time, Brahmaji, actually now we are going to hear full story. What Sukadeva Goswami said, Sukadeva Goswami was saying that in the fourth sloka, Brahmaji was shown by the Supreme Lord his form, transcendental form. So that Brahmaji got this Atma Tattvam. He is able to understand his own Swarupa and also Lord's Swarupa. But how it happened? When, where, how this whole thing happened? We should know. So he did great vrata. When he did that vrata and when he appeared, when Lord appeared, that can you explain in more details? Okay. Yes, we will explain. That's the fifth sloka onwards. We'll be seeing that. What has happened? Once upon a time, Brahmaji was sitting in his lotus seat. That means in the lotus flower he is sitting. And he is trying to find what he is trying to find. Tam na dhyagacha, the source of he was not able to trace out the source of his lotus seat. From where it is coming? What is the starting point of this lotus? So he traveled down from his seat, he came out and he traveled down and he tried to find the source of that lotus. Many years he searched, but still he didn't find. And why? His body is out of intelligence. That's why naturally he's having tendencies to create. He's having tendencies of create. So Rajoguna means creation. So he's having tendencies of create, but how to create? Where to create? What we should take to create? That direction is not there. Drisham means the directions. Nadyagachat. That means not able to understand. From prapancha nirmana vidhi. Prapancha nirmana vidhi means the way to construct this material world. That also he doesn't know. So he doesn't know. Vidhi yaya bhave. So he was not able to know the directions by which prapancha nirmana can happen. He wants directions how to create this whole universe. So our great acharyas are saying, Vishwanath Thakur, Chakravarti Thakur is saying, Na kevalam bhagavad rupameva kala mayatitam apitu tallokam tad bhaktascha kala mayatitaha iti darshayitum chatusloki bhagavata katam prastauti. Now we are going to see the chatusloki Bhagavat Katha, how it is going to be appearing. When Lord told to Brahmaji, this scene we are going to see, this poor complete incident. Okay? And not only that, till now what we have seen, Jiva's body is out of Maya, due to Maya. Maya is giving. And Lord's body is removing that ignorance of Jiva. That means it is transcendental. That's why, how can you say? That's why, because Tanartham. So what, as this in Samadhi, we are also seeing. So, Anardham Upashabam Sakshat Bhakti Yoga Madokshaje. That Anardha will be finished by the Sakshat Bhakti Yoga. That means that should be a transcendental. That is a counteracting thing for the Maya. So that's why Lord's body definitely it should be transcendental, because by getting darshan, the anartha is removed. What is that anartha? That is Maya is thinking himself as body. That anartha is removed. That's why we should also trying to understand. Now Sukadeva Goswami is going forward to say not only Lord's body is transcendental, but Lord's Parshadas, the inhabitants of the Lord's planet, that is in the Vaikuntha, they are all also beyond the time and beyond the Maya. Like how Lord's form is beyond time and Maya. Yes or no? Jivatma's form, Jivatma's actual nature is also constitutionally Jivatma is also beyond time and Maya. And Lord's form is also beyond time and Maya. And not only these two, not only Jiva Swarupa, but also the inhabitants of the Vaikuntha are also beyond the time and Maya. He want to show that. Sukadeva Goswami. That's why he is going forward. And also while explaining this, there is a incident how the Chatusloki Bhagavatam is happened. That is also we are going to see. So that's why he started telling the story. Saha Adi Devaha, like that. Story started. Saha Adi Devaha. Who is that Adi Devaha? It's Brahmaji. Jagatam Guruhu. He is the master of, is a guru, master of the universe. Swadishnyam. Swadishnyam means own sitting place. Asthaya. That means being situated there. That means by sitting there. Sisrukshaya Aikshat. That means he desired to create. Sisruksha means he desired to create. Aikshat Tat Katam Srashta. That means he saw how to, that means Sisrukshaya Aikshat. He saw with the desire of creating, means, so now he is thinking how to create. Who you told to him, you should create like this, who told? Because it's nature. Because That is his nature, because his body is avatara, is like that. It's guna avatara, which is his body is out of rajoguna, is creation. So he wants to create. Tam drisham drisham means pragnam. Tam drisham pragnam. Nadyagachat, that means adyagachat means not able to understand. So he wants to create, but the direction he was not able to get, by which he can build this material world. Prapancha nirmana vidhi. Okay. Purport. See the purport. The second paragraph. Such a knowledge of spiritual sky far above this material sky and this paraphernalia can be known only by dint of devotional service or bhakti yoga. The power of creation by Lord Brahma was also achieved by bhakti yoga. So then he's not having now the direction. Then how he is able to get that direction? By doing the avyalika vratadrutaha. So avyalika vrata he did, which is going to attract the Supreme Lord. What is that avyalika vrata? Nishkapata bhakti yoga. So that is the bhakti yoga. He will going to do bhakti yoga. Then by that he is able to get the direction for creation. Next sloka. Sachintayan dvyaksharamekadambhas vasi Rambha Syupashrunodirgaditam vacho vibhu Sparsheshu yatsodashamekavimsham Nishkinchananam rupayadhanam viduhu. Translation. Hey Gopinath Prabhu. Oh, he's not there. Okay. Operator is not there. Okay. Sakshay Haripu. Atul Gopal Prabhu is not there. Okay. To open that.
While thus engaged in thinking, in the water, Brahmaji heard twice from the nearby two syllable joined together. One of that syllable was taken from the 16th and other from the 21st of the Sparsh alphabet, and both joined to become the wealth of renounced order of life.
So what happened next? Saha Chintayan. He was thinking about the creation. Brahmaji was thinking about creation. Srishtim Chintayan. Saha Srishtim Chintayan. Then what happened? Dvaksharam ekada ambhasi upashrunot. Then all of a sudden he heard two letters. Dvaksharam means two letters. Upashrunot, that means very closely you heard. Upashrunot. Dirgaditam vacho vibhu. That was spoken 2 times and you heard that very closely. What are those 2 letters? Sparsheshu yat sodasham. In the sparshas it is 16th. Ekavimsham, and also it is 21st. In the sparshas, that is the 16th and 21st. These 2 letters he heard. When he was thinking about the creation, from the water, he heard these 2 words very closely, which were uttered by someone. So by hearing this, then what is the 2 letters? Sparsha means what? Kadayo mavasanaha sparshaha. Kadayo, write it. What are the sparshas? No, you'll do. Kadayo mavasanaha. Mavasanaha. Kadayo, meaning starting from ka. Ma avasanaha. Ma is ending. Kadayo mavasanaha sparshaha. That means kakha gaganga, chacha jajanya, tata dadana, tatha dadhana, papa baba ma. Total 25. In this 16th letter, what is that 16th letter? Ta. And 21st letter is pa. So these two letters you heard. And what is this tapa? That is said in the last line. Nishkinchananam rupayadhanam viduhu. That is the wealth of the renounced order of people. That's tapodhanaha. Tapas is the wealth. Okay. One more question, that is tapa. Tapa means lot lakara it is. Which lakara? Lot lakara. That means, hey, you do tapas. Do tapas. Meaning of tapa means, what is the meaning of tapa? Do tapa. Lot. It's order. Someone ordered. That means, so here, upashrunot. Upashrunot. That means, upa means samipe srutavan. Mantramiva tadvayaksharam uddhariti. That means, like when you get the Brahma Gayatri at the time of Upanayana Samskara, you will be hearing this mantra from Guru very closely. He is telling in the ears. In the same way, here tapa word is said very close to the Brahmaji's ears. That's why upashrunot. Here the word upashrunot is indicating that it is the Upanayana Samskara for the Brahmaji. Indicating the Upanayana Samskara of Brahmaji. Okay. Upashrunot. That means what? When it happened, this is the first day. Upanayana Samskara will not happen every day. Na? That means this Leela happened the first starting day. When he took birth, fresh, brand new, Brahmaji is sitting on the lotus flower, in the new, very fresh lotus flower. And then he is hearing. When he is young, Brahmaji is so young. Upa means close. Upa means samipe. Srutavan, like he heard it's like a mantra. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, mantra miva srutavan. Like how the even Upanayana Samskara Guru gives the mantra very closely into the ears. Like that he heard. So Prabhupada is writing in the purport. See in the second paragraph. When the Lord Brahma was perplexed about how to construct the material manifestations in the universe and went down within the water to find out the means and the source of his lotus seat, he heard the word tapa vibrated twice. How many times it was vibrated? 2 times. So dirghaditam, that means 2 times it is vibrated. Taking, the path of tapas is the second birth of the desiring disciple. The word upasranot is very significant. It is similar to the Upanayana, or bringing the disciple nearer to the spiritual master for the path of tapa. So Brahmaji was thus initiated by Lord Krishna, and this fact is corroborated by Brahmaji himself in his book, the Brahma Samhita. Okay. He was initiated now. Got the second birth, Upanayana Samskara. Then he will get the intelligence by this He will understand how to do the creation. This will come once again in the third canto also. You will be seeing more elaborately there. Okay. This tapas is a dhanam. Brahmanaha tapodhanaha uchyante. Also we say Brahmanaha tapodhanaha. That means tapas is a dhanam. For the renowned sort of people are the Brahmanas is also. Come to the next sloka. Nishamya tadvaktrudidrakshayadisho vilokya tatranyada pashyamana swadishnymasthaya vimrushya tadditam tapasyupadishtaye mana. Jai Gopinath Prabhu.
When he heard the sound, he tried to find the speaker, searching on all sides. But when he was unable to find anyone besides himself, he thought it wise to sit down on his lotus seat firmly and give his attention to the execution of penance as he was instructed.
Yes. Then after that, after hearing this, from where it came? He also got doubt, like how you got. Nishamya tad vaktru didrukshaya dishaha vilokya. That means vaktru didriksha. Vaktru means the speaker of that words, that letters. Didruksha means he desired to see him. See the speaker. He desired. Brahmaji desired to see the speaker. After hearing that tapa 2 times, he desired to see the speaker of that. For that he saw all the directions. Tatra anyad apashyamanaha. He didn't see anyone there. He didn't see. Then what he did? Swadishnyamastaya. He was down now. At the starting of this lotus stem, in the stem. So slowly he came back to his place. That means when he was searching and he went to the near to the water, then from that water he heard tapa. Then he saw all the directions, who is speaking. He didn't find. Then he came back. He came back by climbing that stem. And he's nicely sat in this place. Swadishnimasthaya. Then what? Vimrushya tadditam. Vimrushya tadditam. Vimrushya. What is that Vimrushya? So he thought that someone engaged me directly in tapasya, and this is beneficial for me. Like this, he thought. Of course, I don't know who is saying this, but doing tapasya is good only. Okay, better. So I will do tapasya. Someone is directly engaging me in tapasya. So like that, he is understanding and he is considering, and then what he did? Tasmin tapasyeva mana adhade. In the tapasya, so he kept his mind in tapasya. He engaged his mind in tapasya. And that is good for me. Hitam matva. That means someone engaged me in tapasya. I don't know who is that. And directly I was engaged by him. And that is only the good for me. Like this he thought. And then he started meditation, started doing tapasya. Good, very nice. He didn't, who said, I don't know why I have to do tapasya. No, he is a good person actually, sober. So I took the instruction seriously. Yeah. Yeah. I want to hear question first. What kind of question can come here? I want to know.
First time Brahmaji had tapa.
Uh,
He doesn't know any letter tapa.
yeah, I got last year also same question. Okay.
And what is tapa means? We know tapa because we see so many doing tapa. But Brahmaji first living creature. He doesn't know any alphabet letters. Also never saw tapasya. What is mean tapasya? How to do tapasya? That's for word only. What he did, that is tapasya only. How he come to know this is tapasya?
Okay. I think Jagopinath Prabhu is also having same question. No, you are also having, na? So actually we were thinking, yeah. So Brahmaji is not just a living entity. It's empowered living entity. It is a Guna Avatara. Guna Avatara means he is given with the already some extra abilities, power, that is creating power. That means what Brahmaji? Brahmaji means Srishti Shakti Avesh Avatara. Brahmaji is also known as Srishti Shakti Aveshita Avatara. Srishti Shakti is already given to him. That Shakti, that ability is there. So that's why he is not just like normal living entities. By birth, he is potent in several things. Srishti Shakti Aveshita Avatara. That's the reason actually. Like Narada is what? Bhakti Aveshita Avatara. Like Chatushkumara, Gnana Shakti Aveshita Avatara. Narada is Bhakti Shakti Aveshita Avatara. Like Brahmaji, like that Brahmaji is Srishti Shakti Aveshita Avatara. Srishti Shakti is given to him. So that's why that is his ability. He is having the natural ability to he is having टूट जाएगा जरूर Srishti Shakti Aveshta Avatara is there, and that's why he is having the so that much understanding. So what is tapasya and what should be done? What are the details? So he knows. And also Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaya Mukhyantiyas. So Lord also revealed this knowledge. But this knowledge when he revealed before tapasya, after tapasya, we don't know. But maybe, but that much points nobody discussed like this, but we can take it for granted. Is having this much understanding of what is tapasya. Nobody, that means no acharya raised the point on this. So that's why that much ability he can have, being a Gunavatar of the Lord. Okay, Jai Gopinath Prabhu, what is your question? We have
Yes, my question is also from the previous verse, but with the word, while thus engaged in thinking in the water, like where is this water is from? He is in the navel of the Lord, right? He is not moving here and there on the body of the Lord.
he is actually, he came down till the navel and there. So that's a flat place on the stomach of the Lord. So there is a half filled. So that's the he is Lord is also in that water actually. So there, that is the water is there. So with that water only, Garbhodaka Jal actually. Garbhodaka water here means. Yes, bro. Okay.
Okay, bro.
So now he came back and then he started doing the tapasya. So you see the purport, understanding the he couldn't rightly understand that the sound was transmitted by the Lord himself. Brahma was the only living being at the time, because there was no other creation and none could be found there except himself. In the beginning of the first canto, in the first chapter, first verse, Srimad Bhagavatam, it has already been mentioned that Brahma was initiated by the Lord from within. The Lord is within every living entity as super soul, and he initiated Brahma because Brahma was willing to receive the initiation. So Prabhupada is saying that Lord is also is initiating devotees from the heart, like Tene Brahmhridayati Kavaye. Just giving example here. So after being initiated by the spiritual master, what one should do? One should engage himself in the discharging of tapasya. That means execution of the devotional service. It's a point we are seeing. Okay, we have very important discussions in coming slokas. Let us go forward. Divyam sahasrabdamamogha darshano जितानिलात्मा विजितो भयेन्द्रियः अतप्यतस्माखिललोकतापनम् तपस्तपीयांस्तपतां समाहितः. चैतन्य जीवन प्रभु translation.
Lord Brahma underwent penances for 1000 years by the calculations of the demigods. He heard this transcendental vibration from the sky and he accepted it as divine. Thus, he controlled his mind and senses, and the penances he executed were a great lesson for the living entities. Thus, he is known as the greatest of all ascetics.
Thank you. So now what we are seeing here, Divyam Sahasrabdam Amoga Darshanaha. Sahasrabdam, Abda means years. How many years he did tapasya? 1000 celestial years. Divya, demigods years. Our 6 months is equal to their 1 day, 12 hours actually. And our another 6 months is their 1 night. So like this, yeah, that's the demigods. 1 day is like that. And their 1000 years he did tapasya. He heard. So then after that, Sahasrabdam Amogha Darshanaha, Ajita Anilatma. Ajita Anilatma. And Ajita Anilatma means controlled. He's controlled his life air. Anila means life, air. Ajita was wrong. Jita Anilatma. Jita means controlled. Control the Anila. Anila means prana. So one should control the prana to control the senses. And also by controlling the prana, automatically senses will be controlled. That's why he's become the Vijitendriya. Vijito Bhayendriya. Ubhayendriya, 2 types of indriyas. What is that? Karmendriyas and Jnanendriyas. Both are he is able to conquer. So conquer this and atapyata. That means he did tapasya. Tapas atapyata sma. Akhila loka tapanam. So, and this tapasya is what? Akhila lokanam tapanam means prakasham avirbhava karanam. By doing this tapasya, what happened? Akhila loka tapanam. That means the prakasha, the effulgence for all the planets appeared. What is that effulgence? That is Supreme Lord. By doing this tapasya, Supreme Lord appeared. How can you say Supreme Lord appeared? Akhila loka tapanam. That means Akhila loka prakashakam. That means the one which illuminates entire all universes. What is that? That is Bhagavan. Tapaha tapiyas tapas tapiyan tapatam samahitaha. That means he is the best among the tapatam madhye tapiyan. Iti tapiyan ati tapasvi. That means tapatam tapiyan means tapatam means among the people who do tapasya. Among them, he is the tapiyan means is the best. Who is that? That is Brahmaji. And so that means this tapasya is the cause for appearance of the Supreme Lord. Akila Loka Tapanam. That means is who is illuminating all the planets. And for his appearance, this tapasya is the cause. And you're getting meaning? Following, not able to follow, or following or not following? What is happening? Not able to answer actually. I don't know why you are following. Clear, Sloka? If I ask, many people will not answer. No problem. I will not ask. Simple. He did 1000 years of tapasya. And by first he controlled his life air, and also he controlled 2 types of senses. Then after that he did tapasya for 1000 years. What is the reason? For the getting the appearance of the illuminator of all the planets. And he is the best among the tapasvis. Okay, see the last paragraph. Lord Brahma controlled his 2 grades of senses by means of sense perception and sense organs, because he had to engage such senses in the execution of the order of the Lord. Therefore, controlling the senses means engaging them in the transcendental service of the Lord. Lord's order descend in disciplic succession through the bona fide spiritual master. And thus execution of the order of a bona fide spiritual master is factual control of the senses. So Prabhupada writing, what is important point for us? So once one get this initiation from the bona fide spiritual master, and executing his orders is nothing but the tapasya. Bona fide, that's a factual control of the senses. So your Guru Maharaj said, go and preach in that place. Gurudev said. Then you have to control your senses or not. If you eat nicely and sleep, nothing will happen there. You should control your senses, and to accomplish that, you need to, if you want to accomplish anything in this material world, you need to control. So that's why executing the orders of the spiritual master is nothing but the tapasya, actually, controlling the senses. Obvious. He said, go to the IBM and study for 3 years. Yes, you should control your senses and you should study focused. Otherwise, if you are not strict in the following your spiritual master order, then you may not do like that. Sometimes you will watch mobile, and sometimes you will waste time here and there, chit-chatting with your friends and losing the time, and after that worrying, array, time is wasted. And like this, you'll be feeling bad. Because of uncontrolled senses, it will happen. So that's why controlling senses is very important for executing the orders of the spiritual master. Such execution of penance in full faith and sincerity made Brahmaji so powerful. So, but then if you sincerely execute his orders, then you'll become powerful. Purity is the force. You'll get force. With that power, actually, you can preach even more and more. Like Brahmaji created more and more, then you can preach to creation of Brahmaji. So powerful that he became the creator of the universe. Then what we will become then? We are the preacher of the universe, and he is the creator of the universe. And because he was able to attain such power, he is called the best amongst all the tapasvis. Whoever is able to execute perfectly that service nicely, then he is ati tapasvi. Whoever is able to execute his spiritual master's order very nicely, then he is ati tapasvi. Tapatam tapiyan. That means the best among the tapasvis. That's why he is also known as ati tapasvi. Anyone wants to become ati tapasvi? Puneet Prabhu. Next sloka. Tasmai swalokam bhagavan sabhajita sandarshayamasa param nayat param vyapeta sanklesha vimoha sadhvasam. What is it? Always your chorus is the laya Sruti Viruddham. Vyapeta sanklesha vimoha sadhvasam swadrishtu vadvir purushairabhishtutam. For chorus, we should take you, Prabhu. Really. Vipin Prabhu. Translation. From here, it's very important. Now your countdown starts.
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Yes.
The personality of Godhead, being thus very much satisfied with the penance of Lord Brahma,
Yes.
was pleased to manifest his personal abode, Vaikunta, the supreme planet above all others. This transcendental abode of the Lord is adored by all self-realized persons, freed from all kinds of miseries and fear of illusory existence.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
So, my dear friends, please write the question. It's very, very important. Extremely important. Must and should. Not even for at least for exam also you see it is must. Now onwards we are going to discuss Srila Jiva Goswami's commentary. And we are going to establish Bhagavad Avirbhavam, appearance of the Lord. So describe the appearance of the Lord based upon the commentary of Srila Jiva Goswami. Describe the appearance of the Supreme Lord based upon Srila Jiva Goswami's commentary, that is Krama Sandarbha. 15 marks. And total 10.5 slokas we are going to discuss. 10.5 slokas. Starting from Tasmai. Okay. It is very interesting for your knowledge also. What is said? Now from here onwards we are going to discuss the appearance of the Lord. Appearance of the Lord is described here. So Sukadeva Goswami is telling, so in the last sloka, if you see what we are understanding, Brahmaji did this tapasya for the purpose of what? So to get the direction for creation, and also that tapasya is going to get the appearance of or manifestation of what? Akila Loka Tapanam. Yes or no? What is the meaning of Akila Loka Tapanam? The one who illuminates all the planets. That is the Supreme Lord. So for getting him, so he did this tapasya. So that means now he appeared. He appeared. Supreme Lord appeared in front of the Brahmaji. He did tapasya. After the, what is the result? Lord appeared. Then Lord appeared, and then what he did? What he did with Brahmaji? That is explained by Sukadeva Goswami. Now Sukadeva Goswami is explaining that. What that Lord did with this Brahmaji. Tasmai swalokam bhagavan sabhajitaha. Tasmai, tasmai, kasmai. Tasmai means unto him. Who? Unto whom? Brahma. Unto Brahma. That means Brahma. Bhagavan. Bhagavan means Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. What he did? Sandarshayamasa. That means he showed. Sandarshayamasa means he showed. What he showed? Swalokam. That means Bhagavan. How to go to the, what is the kriya in this? Sandarshayamasa is the kriya. That means showed. Lord showed. So who he showed? Bhagavan showed. Bhagavan showed. Bhagavan showed what he showed? Swalokam. So to whom he showed? Tasmai means Brahmane, means to Brahmaji. Okay, try to understand the first sloka meaning. Then you can understand the commentary also on that. The Anvaya, how it goes. You should write immediately. And this slokam is how? Param nayat param. That means yataha param na param. Okay. And also what else? This slokam is how it is. Vyapeta sanklesha vimoha sadhvasam. This planet is, this slokam, this Vaikunta is Vyapeta sanklesha vimoha sadhvasam. And also Swadrishtavadbhir purushairabhishtitum. And also it is desired by the self-realized souls. And it is Vyapeta sanklesha vimoha sadhvasam. It is free from the all the miseries and all the illusion and also all the fear. It is free from all this. And that kind of loka, so Lord showed to Brahmaji. So that's why we should understand. Here we are the Bhagavan and Bhagavan loka is non-different. That's why it is Bhagavad Avirbhavam, appearance of Lord. The description we are seeing. How that lokam is looking? That lokam is Vyapeta Sankles Vimoha Sadhvasam. And also Param Nayat Param. And also Swadrishtavadbhir Purushair Abhishtitum. These are the three Visheshnas. You should understand these three Visheshnas to get the complete meaning of this sloka. Okay? Clearly following or not? Huh? 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 Slower. Acha. Three Visheshnas are given here. That means shall I speak slowly or loud? No? Okay. So here Lord is showing his own abode, and that abode is having three kinds of the characteristics. What are those? One is the Param Nayat Param. Second one is Vyapeda Sanklesha Vimoha Sadhvasam. Third one is Swadrishtavadbhir Purushairabhishtitum. These three things you will be understanding. Now I will explain those. Tasmai ityadi Bhagavadagna Puraskarena Sri Narayana Purusha Navi Pankaje Sthitvaiva Tattoshanaihi Tapobihi Bhajate Brahmane Sabhajitah Tena Bhajanena Vasikrutah San Swalokam Vaikunta Bhuvanottamam Bhagavan Samyak Darshayamasa. What is the meaning of this line? So here Brahmaji followed the orders of the Lord. That means you do tapasya, this order of the Lord, spiritual master's order. And he followed that. That means he's sitting in his own lotus flower, that is the sitting place. He is sitting there, and by the tapas, he worshipped the Supreme Lord. Then Lord, that means Sabhajitaha, means Lord is very nicely worshipped by Brahmaji. So that means Lord being worshipped by Brahmaji very nicely, and also by that worship, he is in control of, he came. That means he was captured. Lord was captured by that worship of Brahmaji. And that's why he appeared immediately. Vasikurutu Swalokam. What he did then? Being captured or being attracted by the tapasya or by the devotion of the Brahmaji. So he appeared in front of Brahmaji and Vaikunta Bhuvanottamam. So he is showing Vaikuntam. Swalokam means Vaikunta Bhuvanottamam. Among the Vaikunta Bhuvanas, it is a Uttama Vaikunta Bhavanam. Uttama Vaikunta he showed. Bhagavan Sandarshayamasa. That means Lord showed that. Lord showed that. He showed. SHOD. Next. Yataha. Yat. You see in this first Visheshana. Paramna Yat Param. This I am explaining. Yat Param means Yataha means Vaikuntat Param Anyat Vaikunta Param Sreshtam Na Vidyate. That means Parama Bhagavad Vaikuntatvat. That means here huh? Okay, don't worry. उसका balls बनाएंगे. Wheels बनाना पड़ेगा उसका. We should make wheels for that. Then it will be useful. Right? Write it. Take this yat means yataha. Vaikuntat. Vaikuntat. Param means Anya Vaikuntam. Should learn little Sanskrit. Anya Vaikuntam. Param. और एक param is there. Means Sreshtam. Param means Sreshtam. Na means, what is English? So whatever loka he showed, that you take here. So that is a Vaikunta Bhuvanottamam. So whatever the Saloka Lord showed, that is that Vaikunta. Compared to that Vaikunta, there is no other Vaikunta which is better than that. That means, English if you translate, there is no other Vaikunta which is superior to that Vaikunta. Which Vaikunta? Lord showed. Lord showed to the Brahman. Okay, good. Yeah, that is the best Vaikunta. That means that's why it is known as Parama Bhagavad Vaikuntatvat. Why no one is superior than that? Because that is a Parama Bhagavad Vaikunta. That's why that Vaikunta is Parama Bhagavad Vaikunta. Parama Bhagavad Vaikunta. That's why Goloka is also known as Supreme Vaikunta. That is Golokaha. You can write like here. What is it? This Parama Bhagavad Vaikunta is known as Golokaha. Next what? Atra param na yat param ityatra ata hyainam gargi. Okay, you leave that. So next, otherwise you can take one another way. Param na yat param you can take in another explanation. This is one explanation, one xp. Now explanation 2. How to take? Yes. So here yataha yataha means yataha Vaikuntat param means Brahmakyam Tattvam. Param means Brahmakyam Tattvam. Param means Sreshtam. Param means Bhinnam actually. Here Param means not Sreshtam. You can take Param means one more meaning. Bhinnam. Bhinnam na. That means Brahman is not different from the Vaikunta. This meaning also you can get. Is not different from Vaikunta. This is a Siddhanta. He is establishing Siddhanta from here. Brahman is not different from Vaikunta. Okay. Yes. So next go to the next characteristic. What is that? That is the Vyapeta Sanklesha Vimoha Sadvasam. That we have to see now. So that means Sarupa Sakti Visheshavishkarena Maya Anavrutam Tadeva Tadrupam Ityardaha. So that means what it means? Brahman is not different from Vaikunta means. So that means Brahman is not different from Vaikunta means what it means? It means so this Vaikunta is spiritual because Brahman is spiritual and Vaikunta is also not different from the Brahman means Vaikunta is also spiritual and that Vaikunta is, it means Vaikunta is a special manifestation of Swarupa Shakti. How can you derive this? Because it is not different from the Brahman and Brahman is spiritual. That means there is a something is there. So which is cause for the variegatedness. That means there is a Shakti is there. That is the pure spiritual Shakti and that is the cause for the manifestation of. You got it? Yeah. What do you got? Tell me, explain. Two explanations. What is that explanation 1 and 2? Param na yat param. How? Mike, take mic and explain. Next chance is to yours. Okay.
In the first explanation, he says that there is nothing superior to this Vaikuntha Loka, which the Lord showed to Brahma.
Nothing or no Vaikuntha?
There is nothing superior to
No Vaikuntha is superior.
No Vaikuntha Loka is superior.
To
No
this
other
Vaikuntha.
Vaikuntha Loka.
That's why it is Parama Vaikuntha.
Parama Vaikuntha.
That is what? Goloka.
Goloka.
Next, second
In the
explanation.
second, he says that that Vaikuntha is non-different from highest tattva called Brahman.
Vaikuntha
Is non-different from highest tattva called Brahman. Yeah, it is Brahman.
Okay. So what it means?
That means it is spiritual. It is made from Swarup Shakti of the Lord.
Vaikuntha is not different from the Brahma, or Brahman is not different from the Vaikuntha. There's a big difference. What I said? Brahman is not different from Vaikuntha, you should say. Vaikunthat. Param means Brahmakyam Tattvam Bhinnamna. Okay. Okay, then it means what? Vaikuntha is the due to, it's a manifestation due to, manifestation out of, it is a special manifestation out of Swarupa Shakti, which is Maya, which is uncovered from the Maya. It is not covered by the Maya. Maya Anavrutam. Okay. Next, Vyapeta Sanklesa Vimoha Sadvasam. What it mean? So Agre tu idam. That means we are going to also discuss Vaikuntha is out of the Swarupa Shakti. Why to Vaikuntha is manifested out of the Swarupa Shakti, that we are also going to see in the next coming discussions. But the now point is, you should understand that. That means Brahman is not different from the Vaikuntha, means you should understand that. So Vaikuntha is also is beyond, like Brahman is out of the Maya, is the Maya Anavrutam. So that means Vaikuntha is also is not covered by the Maya. That means there is a, so such a feature is there, it is beyond the Maya, and also there is a variegatedness, there should be a Shakti. So that means you should accept some Shakti which is spiritual and cause for the this variegatedness of Vaikuntha.
In the English translation.
ये तो ऊपर गिर गया क्या?
In the English translation of Jiva Goswami, they have written that the planet is non-different from the highest tattva called Brahman. That means Brahman and Vaikuntha are non-different, or what is it?
Oh, what it is written?
It is written, he showed Brahma his highest planet was non-different from the highest tattva called Brahman.
Yeah.
So
Brahman is not different from the Vaikuntha. That meaning is coming or not there? Okay, good then. So next, Tadrishatve Hetu. What is that said next? That Vaikuntha, how it is? That means no Vaikuntha is superior to that Vaikuntha. That kind of Vaikuntha was showed by the Lord, and also that Vaikuntha is, that means Brahman is not different from that Vaikuntha. And that is also the second type of meaning we took. And now we are going to the further, and next is Vyapeta Sanklesa Vimoha Sadvasam. So in this, how to understand this? Vyapeta Sanklesha Vimoha Sadvasam. Vyapeta. Agre tu idam vyaktikarshitata tadrishatve hetu vyapeta iti sadrishti iti cha. So why this? Yeah, why this Vaikuntha is not different from the, or Brahman is not different from this Vaikuntha? What is speciality actually? This, because like in the material world, how these different classes are there, different kinds of fear and other things, those are not there. That's why. And also, why the Vaikuntha is, so Brahman is not different from the Vaikuntha? That is one more reason is, even this is desired, this Vaikuntha is desired by the self-realized souls. That's the thing we are going to see. So Vyapeta Sanklesha Vimoha Sadvasam. Write it. Baba, ink. हाँ देखा नहीं, दे दी, ले लो इसको। व्यपेत संक्लेश विमोह साध्वसम, हाँ इसका भी नहीं है। संक्लेश हाँ है, उसको भर दो। क्लेश आर व्हाट? Patanjali is saying avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. These are the 5 kinds of the kleshas. Abhinivesha. Avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhiniveshaha. Sankleshaha. These kleshas, klesha. Next, vimoha. What is vimoha? So vimoha. What is the meanings? This avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. That you will understand in the future in the 3rd canto. Now you can write that. Vimoha means vaichityam. Vaichityam means in BBT book it is given. It is meanings of this. No, not for this. But with 5 avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha. Raga means attachment, dvesha means aversion, abhinivesha means entrance, asmita, avidya means ignorance, asmita is false identification. Okay. These are the meanings. Next, sadhvasam. Sadhvasam means fear. Bhayam. Sadhvasam means bhayam. Means fear. Vapeta means without. Vapeta means free from these 3. Vapeta means vapeta, sanklesha means without klesha, vapeta vimoha, vapeta sadhvasam. I mean that sloka, that Vaikunta is free from these 3. So Vyapeta means free. Free from this. These above 3. That kind of loka. That. Okay. Next all, Swadrishtuvadbhir abhishtitum. Swadrishtuvadbhir, Swadrishtuvadbihi. Swadrishtuvadbihi means, what it means? Swadrishtavadbihi. Swadrishtavadbihi means who is that? Swadrishtavad vadbihi. Vadbihi abhishtitum. Swadrishtavadbihi purushaihi abhishtitum. Okay. Who is that Swadrishtavadbihi? That means self-realized souls. Self-realized souls. Abhishtu means desired. This loka is desired by the self-realized souls. Self-realized souls definitely will not like anything which is material. Yes or no? Any material, any part of this material world will they like? They don't like. I should write more clear handwriting, I think. Huh? Yes. My handwriting is not good. What should I do now? Swadrishtavadbihi, I will go inside. Swadrishtavadbihi means, Swa means Swasya. Swa means Swasya. Drishtam. Drishtam means Darshanam. Drishtam means Darshanam. That means Swasya Darshanam. That means his own Darshan. His own Darshan. Darshanam tad vidyate. Tad vidyate yesham. That means who has their own darshan, means self-realized souls. Swadrishtavadbihi means swasya drishtam means darshanam, tad vidyate yesham. That means that swasdarshanam is there for whom is known as swadrishtavad. Swasya darshanam like dhanavan, dhanavan, dhanavat, dhanavan, who is having dhana, and swadrishtavat. Swadrishtavat means the one who is having, swadrishtam means the one who is having the swasya darshanam. That means the one who is having his own darshan. That means he is self-realized soul. Yes. So like this Vaikuntha is. Okay, clear? Ata te munayah drishtra nayanananda bhajanam. So that's why they like this. Vaikuntam tadishthanam vikutam swayam prabham bhagavantam parikramya. Next sloka, go to the late. At least 20 we should reach. Discuss 3. Yes, Prabhu. Gokulanand Prabhu. Loud, mic. Without mic, you should not speak at all. Because already your voice is very low. And
the last characteristic,
Sadrishtavadbihi.
Where is explaining the Jiva Goswami's commentary?
Total Jiva Goswami commentary.
Yes, because I got lost in the last part, which is the sentence that explains the last characteristic.
Last phrase.
Yeah, in Sanskrit.
Sadrishtavadbihi. Okay.
Yes, but in Jiva Goswami's writing, which is the sentence?
Swasya drishtam. That means swasya drishtam
darshanam. That's it. Sentence.
Tad vidyate. I wrote na here. Swasya drishtam darshanam.
I cannot see properly.
Acha.
Thanks.
Okay. Mike.
Lord showed the Vaikuntha to Brahmaji.
Yes.
So first he showed the Vaikuntha, then himself, or like that simultaneously. One place is Vaikuntha is non-different from Lord. So, but how is like
Lord showed Vaikuntha? Which kind of Vaikuntha? The topmost Vaikuntha. That is Golok.
That is okay. That he saw. While seeing, he also saw the Lord. Also after that.
Yeah. He also saw Lord.
Just like Lord talks him and shake the hand also.
Yes.
Everything is there. So first Lord is showing just like his opulence and Vaikuntha. Gradually he himself manifested like that, or he saw directly simultaneously.
What he saw, that everything is shed here. So everything you see. So if you enter into the room, what you will see? You'll see something first, something later, like that.
Yes, that's sometimes Lord, so that means Lord appeared doesn't written here. That is Lord showed his Vaikuntha means sometimes opulence, just like you going somewhere else visiting place, the owner is there, but you're seeing his palace, everything is there.
You'll see now.
So gradually after that owner comes also. So whether he Lord also direct appeared or not, that is not directly mentioned here.
Yeah. And also one more point here, Vaikunta is said. If you see the explanation, there we are seeing the Lord is sitting in the Vaikunta and all other different doorkeepers are there. And also we are getting here Paramnayat Param, that is looking, that is indicating Goloka. So then he should see the gopis and those. So, but we are not going to see in the description gopis and so and so. But we are seeing only the Vaikunta description. So that we'll discuss later. Okay, anyway, that a future coming question. I am only putting that. Okay. So what you are asking, Prabhu?
So Brahmaji got darshan of Garbhodaksha Vishnu.
Huh? Garbhodaksha Vishnu? No, I didn't say that. Is in the next third chapter.
So whose darshan he got? Krishna's?
Krishna, sometimes Krishna, some Brahmaji may get. Vishnu, some Brahmaji may get. Some other, it can happen anything.
So, but he got the darshan of Goloka.
He got Goloka, and after that we can see Vaikunta description. It's possible because you can mix. Vedepi eka vatvarnanam. Everywhere only one. Achintya Veda like that. So you can use this. Anywhere you have difficulty, only one thing. So you can mix 2-3 Leelas or 2-3 Brahmaji's realizations as one. You can also do that, no problem.
Okay. And one last thing, when there's a swasya drashta darshanam, there's some more part is there. Api abhitaha sarvam amshena stutam shalagitam. Shalagitam is worship.
Shlagitam means
They self-realized people worship, desire to worship that abode.
Okay, Prabhu.
Is that meaning?
Yeah. Yes. So now, okay, next, later. So, as you, Abhishek means desired. So, next, the troubles purport of penance accepted by Lord Brahma were certainly in the line of devotional service. Otherwise, there was no chance that Vaikunta or Salokam, the Lord's personal abode, would become visible to Brahmaji. The personal abode of Lord, known as Vaikuntas, are neither mythical nor material, as conceived by the impersonalist, but realization of the. We are going to see this in the Bhagavad Sandarbha, very extensive discussion based upon this, and after that, so Chatush Kumaras, they are going to the Vaikunta planet, and also they are seeing the realizing the many objects, and based upon that, so the Siddhanta is established. The Sarupa Sakti, existence of the Sarupa Sakti is established, and many more things are established there. So just here we are seeing the few things, and like this in the second paragraph, if you come, executing Bhakti Yoga is exactly like sitting on the lotus sprouted out of the abdomen of the transcendental personality of Godhead. For Lord Brahma was seated there. Brahmaji was able to please the Lord, and Lord was also pleased to show Brahmaji his personal abode. That means Sabhajitaha. The word Sabhajitaha is covered here. That means Brahmaji worshipped Lord very nicely. That means Lord is being worshipped very nicely. Then, so Lord is also reciprocating that by showing his own personal abode. So Srila Jiva Goswami in the comments in his Kramasandarbha annotation of Srimad Bhagavatam cites quotation from the Garga Upanishad, Vedic evidence. It is said that Yajnavalkya described the transcendental abode of the Lord to Gargi, and that the abode of the Lord is situated above the highest planet of universe, namely Brahmaloka. This abode of the Lord, although described in revealed scriptures, like the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Paramnayat Param, that means here Prabhupada is taking like it is beyond, it is superior to all the material planets. Like that also you can take, or otherwise, that means there is no other planet is there which is superior to that. That is a, so compared to all material planets, Vaikunta is a superior planet. But what we are taking here, there is no other Vaikunta is there superior to this Vaikunta. Vaikunta Param Anya Vaikuntam Sunasti. Anyat Vaikunta Param Sreshtam Na Vidyate. That means Parama Bhagavat Vaikuntam. Like that, if you take, then it is indicating the Goloka. If you take just it is superior to all the material planets, then it is indicating the Vaikunta. Or otherwise, one more meaning what you can take. So this Brahman is not different from the Vaikunta. Like this also you can take. So Prabhupada is also writing the same things what we discussed in this by account to the Srila Jiva Goswami. That's the 5 classes and so on. So you can read it. And Brahmaji also described the highest planet of the Vaikunta as Goloka Vrindavan, where the Lord resides as a. So highest Goloka, highest Vaikunta Loka is known as Goloka. So that's why it is said in the Brahma Samhita it is there. So, where the Lord resides as a cowherd boy, keeping transcendental Surabhi. So if you see Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji's writing means he should definitely, he could have seen the Vaikunta, that's a Goloka also. But here in this book, you are going to see that Vaikunta description only, not the Goloka description. So maybe that is happened to the another Brahmaji or what. Next, come to the next sloka. Pravartate yatra rajastamastayo Sattvam cha mishram na cha kala vikramaha na yatra maya kimuta pare harer anuvrata yatra sura surachitaha. So once again, we are going to see the description of the Vaikunta. How this Vaikunta is. This Vaikunta is a place where there is no Rajas and Tamas. There is no Rajas and Tamas. And also their mixture is also not there. Rajas Tamas Tayohu Mishram. So their mixture is also not there. If Rajas and Tamas is not there, means obviously Sattvam is also not there. And also what is said, Nacha Kala Vikramaha. There is no influence of time here. And also Nayatra Maya, there is no Maya. And also there, Are Kimuta Pare Hare Ranuvrataha Yatra Sura Surachitaha. But there are so many, the Parshadas are there who are worshipped by the even demigods and also demons. Sura Asura Architaha. These, they also worship.
Asuras are there?
No, they, the whom Asuras and Suras worship. Vaikuntavasis are like that. So next, Punah Tadrushattvameva Venakti Pravartate iti. So now Tadrushattvameva Venakti means like how we discussed here in the first sloka. No, it's not. 9th sloka. Same way we are going to see in the 10th sloka also the features of Vaikunta. So what is the first point? First point is Vaikunte Rajastamascha na pravartate tayoho mishram sacharam jadam yataha sarvam tadapi nakintu anyadeva. Rajas, Baba pen. Rajas and Tamas. Vaikunta is not having the no Rajas and Tamas. First point. And also Tayoho Mishram. That means the one which is with these two, that is Tayoho Mishram means Sattvam. It is also not there. No Sattvam. And what else? Then what is there? Something other than these three is there. Anyat. Other thing is there. Other thing. Which is not Rajas, Tamas and Sattvam. If you say, in my house, sugar is not there, means you are having what? Salt. Your neighbor came and asked you, give me sugar. Then you said, I don't have sugar. That means I have salt. If you don't have anything, if your house is completely empty, then what you'll say? I don't have nothing. I have nothing. What do you say? I have nothing. So you are saying sugar is not there, means something else is there. Similarly, in the Vaikunta, Rajas Tamas is not there, means something is there. It's not that in the Vaikunta nothing is there. It is not said like that. In the Vaikunta, nothing is there is not said. What is said? Rajas Tamas is not there. Rajas Tamas and Sattvam is not there. That means something is there. Anyat. That is Sattvam, which is company with them. Next, Yat Sustu Sthapaishyate. We are going to establish this very nicely in the coming chapters. What true? Okay. Pen? Yeah. Tadeva cha yatra pravartate ityardaha. Taya cha narada pancharatre jitantastotre lokam vaikuntanāmanam divya shadguna samyutam avaishnava prapyam gunatraya vivarjitam iti. So we are going to see so many examples which are saying the Vaikunta is having the so many qualities and other things, and also it is not out of Rajas, Tamas and Sattvam. So that means there is one more element which is beyond Rajas, Tamas and Sattvam. And Padma Purana also is saying like that. Okay, I am not going to discuss those shlokas. Padma Purana also is saying Tripad Vibhuti, Ekapad Vibhuti. We discussed Tripad Vibhuti according to the Padma Purana. We should write the question and answer. Okay, you all remember or not? So Tripad Vibhuti is there in that description of Tripad Vibhuti by the Padma Purana. You will be seeing that there are so many other objects are available in Vaikunta. Many objects are available. That is all those out of Amritam, Abhayam, and next Kshemam. These are the Tripat Vibhuti. But in this material world, everything is Martyam. I am jumping lines. Tripad bhutam sanatanam amritam shasatam nityam anandam brahma siddhastvamayam divyaksharam. Siddhasattvamayam also said. Prakrita gunanam parasparavya vicharitvam tuktam sadoktam sadhya kaumudyam अन्योन्यमितन वृत्तयः इति तट्टिकायां च अन्योन्य सहचराः अविनाभाव वृत्तयः इति यावत् भवति चात्रागमः अन्योन्यमितनः सर्वे सर्वत्रागामिनः रजसो मिथुनं सत्त्वम् इत्याद्युपक्रम्य नैषामादिश्च संयोगो वियोगो उपलभ्यते इति तस्माद् अत्र रजसो सद्भावाद् असृज्यत्वम्. Sankhya Tattva Kaumudi, what it says, if you see the Sankhya Tattva Kaumudi and other Sankhya philosophy books, if Rajas and Tamas are not there, then obviously Sattvam will not be there, because what is that? These are all Anyonya Sahacharaha, Avina Bhava Vrattayaha, Anyonya Sahacharaha. They are always dependent on other two. Rajas is dependent on Sattva and Tamas. And Sattva is also dependent on Rajas and Tamas. Tamas is also dependent on Rajas and Sattva. So that is the point actually. So that's why Anyonyam Ashrayaha. They are dependent on one is dependent on another two. So that's why if these two are not there means sattvam is also will not be there. That's the point. Very. Okay. And what we learned, Vaikuntha is completely free from the Rajas, Tamas, and Sattvam. Rajas is not there means, what is the main function of the Rajas? Creation. Rajas is not there means there is no Sadbhav, Asrujatvam, Asrujatu, no creation. That means objects are not created there in the spiritual world. But it is said spiritual world is having something else, because it is not there. These three are not there means something is there. And these are all are not out of Rajas means they are not created. That means objects in the spiritual world are not created. How we are deriving the points, try to understand. Objects in Vaikuntha are not created. Reason? What is the reason? Since no Rajas. Next, no tamas. What is said? No tamas. In spiritual Vaikuntha, there is no tamas. Means what? No destruction. No destruction. That means objects in the Vaikuntha cannot be destroyed. Objects in Vaikuntha cannot be destroyed. You say every time this philosophy, but how to derive this, you can learn from here. How Jiva Goswami is establishing. Cannot be destroyed. Since no tamas. Next, Sattvam is not there. That means no maintenance. Prakruta sattva bhavache satchidanandatvam. That means since no sattvam, material sattvam, everything is satchidanandaha. Satchidananda rupaha. Everything is Satchidananda Rupam. That means everything is Prakashamayaha. And also Satchidanandaha. Satchidananda means what? Is eternal, blissful. Knowledge. Chit means knowledgeful. And also blissful. That's kind of objects are like this. Since there is no material sattvam. That means they are all gives pleasure. They all give pleasure. So what is the reason? Why? So Satchidananda Rupatuncha Darshitam. So these gunas are not there. What is the way? What is the reason for this? Because there is no influence of the time. Because all these gunas will act based upon the time. So because, so you are saying this Rajas, Tamas or Sattvam is not there. That means they are not acting. That means they are not doing anything. They are not there at all. And also, how that means you are going to one more step deep inside. All these gunas are played by whom? Time. Time always plays with these modes. So then we are going to step further and saying, even there is no time. Influence of time is not there. No influence of time. That means we are going to more deeply. Are what to speak? Time also is not there. And next, what we are going to say? Are what to speak? Time. There is no Maya also. Kimuta pare are. Kimuta pare hare. Kimuta. What to speak? There is no Maya at all. That means now we are just breaking the tree, cutting the tree from the root. Now we are removing the root, and even no time and no Maya. No Maya at all. So that means now it's fully establishing spiritual world is fully transcendental.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, you are explaining before 2 lines, and can you please explain this?
Which one?
Where is that gone? So there is a Rajaso Mithunam Sattvam इत्यादि उपक्रम में नैसाम आदिश्च संयोगो वियोगो वा लभ्यते. संयोग वियोग and
so by all these 3 gunas, so you will be getting the various actions actually. Upalabhyate. Rajasaha Mithunam Sattva Ityad Upakramya. So Rajoguna is going to combine and is giving the Sanyoga and Viyoga.
There is Sanyoga and Viyoga due to modes.
Due to the modes. Actually.
So in the spiritual world, with Sanyoga and Viyoga is seen, like separation and meeting.
That's all transcendental. Huh? Who is that? Yashoda Mataji, boliye.
Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Prabhuji, this how we can understand this? सुर तथा असुर दोनों के द्वारा भगवान पूजित होते हैं. असुर की डेफिनेशन है कि जो भगवान को नहीं मानते हैं.
आ रहा हूँ. Wait.
By definition, asuras are that. अच्छा. Okay.
Coming to that, I didn't come till now there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Next, till now it is clear. So I'm not giving line by line everything because it's too big, and whatever the important and easy points you can remember, I am giving that. And also it is like a course actually in the Bhagavad Sandarbha. It's a months of course, 1 year course this is, and we will discuss this. Discuss every line, then it will take so many days. So we'll go like that only. Everything we will not discuss from this. Maya atra. So that means there is no Maya. That means what to speak? The root itself is not there. So time and other gunas, everything coming from the Maya, and that Maya itself is not there. Finished game. Maya is also not there. It said Jagat Sushtyadi Hetu Bhagavad Shakti Natu Kapatya Matram Rajadi Nishedeneva Tad Vidhasyat. So that means Maya is not there means what it means? That it is also Shakti of the Lord, which is cause for the creation of the universe, and that is not there. So you are saying it is not there means it is there somewhere. And but Advaitins, how they take Maya is illusory, it's a mithya. So you cannot say the object which is not there, which is mithya, you cannot say it is not there. If you say in my room pot is not there, that means pot is there in somewhere. But you cannot say the object which is the sky flower. You cannot say sky flower is not there in my house, because sky flower is mithya. Understand? Here what is said, Maya is not there is said. That means Maya is not there. Spiritual means Maya is there in some other, that is, it is there in the material world. That means Maya is also Shakti. That is also real. It's not that it's not like the Advaitin's definitions is what? Maya is illusion. It is a mithya. So mithya object, how can you say it's no? How can you say it is not there? So that's why here Jiva Goswami is catching the point. Maya is not there in the spiritual world, means Maya is there in the material world. Means Maya is also is real. It is also Shakti. Yes, there's a point. Suraha sattva prabhavaha. Okay, next one more point. सामान्यतः रजस्तमो निषेधेनैव तत् प्राप्ते. Okay, nanu gunadhyabhavat. So one may put a question here. Paurapakshi can raise a question. Nanu gunadhyabhavat nirvishesha eva aso lokaha. So someone say, now what we are, he may hear half thing and he will say that. So spiritual world is, Vaikuntha is free from the rajas, tamas and sattvam. That means it is free from the gunas. That means it is nirvishesha. One may say like that. Eva aso lokaha. One may say like that. Then to answer that, the following is said. Hey, no, don't think that there is nothing. There are sura surachitaha. That means there are some inhibitants are there. That means suddha sattvatmikaha. That means they are who are made of, who are manifested out of these three modes. That is visuddha sattvam. So, and he is that kind of inhibitants are there. Suddha sattvatmikayaha. Swarupa anatirikta shaktireva vilasarupa iti dyotayan tameva vishesham darsheti hareriti. That means Harehe anuvrataha. Harehe anuvrata means who always follow Hari. Harehe anuvrataha or sura surachitaha means sura means sattva prabhavaha, asura means rajastama prabhavaha. Taihi architaha tebhyah arhattamaha iti arthaha gunati tatvadeva iti bhavaha. That means there are the inhibitants who are followers of the. That means you cannot say rajas tamas is not there and sattvam is not there, means it is a nirvishesha loka where nothing is there. You cannot say. That's it. To counteract that, what is said? Hare anuvrataha is said. Hare anuvrataha. What it means? There are followers of Hari. This kind of people are there. Followers of Hari, and their body is completely made of Vishuddha Sattvam, which is not out of either Rajas, Tamas and Sattvam. It's completely different. And how these Hare Anuvrataha, these followers, how Sura Surarchitaha, Sura Sura.
Suras are worshipping. Can you please explain? Archita.
Sura means Sattva Pravaha, who are influenced by Sura means who are influenced by the Sattva Guna. Asura means who are influenced by the Rajas and Tamas. That means this kind of people also worship them. So devotees are glorified by anyone. Bhakti is glorified by anyone. It's beyond the modes, and even the Daityas, they can do bhakti and they can appreciate devotees like Prahlad Maharaj, like Bali Maharaj. And also they are from the Asurukula actually. Their mode is like this. And also the devotees, they are worshipped by the people who are influenced by the Sattva Guna also. अरे क्या सुनते हैं आप? Vaikunta Asarukala कहाँ से आया? The people who are in the Vaikunta, they are worshipped by Suras and Asuras. Because they are beyond the Gunas. And that's why they can be worshipped by any kind of living entity. Any kind of living entity is attracted to them. Okay, next. See the same thing. Padma Purana's things are there. Sankhya Kaumadi's thing is also there in the second paragraph. And Tripad Vibhuti. Completely this commentary, Prabhupada purport is based upon the mostly based upon our Jiva Goswami. So that's why whatever explanation you learned from the class, so with that knowledge you can also read this purport and understand that. If you have any difficulty, let me know. Every line we cannot read now. Six spiritual qualities of Vaikuntha कहाँ है? Is there in that? Jitanta Stotra, Nada Pancharatre, Jitanta Stotram Lokam Vaikunta, Shad Divya Shadguna Samvitam. Those 6 qualities, it will come actually in the different those. So you can take 6 Aishwarya Samagra Virya Shasriya. That all 6 also you can take. Next sloka, go to the next sloka. Shama Vadata Shatapatra Lochana Pishanga Vastra Surucha Supesha Saha Sarve Chaturbhava Unmishan Sarve Chaturbhava Unmishan Mani Praveka Nishkabharana Suvarchasaha. We'll get up now the class. Translation: the inhabitants of the Vaikunta planet are described as having a glowing sky bluish complexion. Their eyes resemble lotus flowers. Their dress is of yellowish color, and their bodily features very attractive. They are just the age of growing youths. They all have 4 hands. They are all nicely decorated with pearl necklaces with ornamental medallions, and they all appear to be effulgent. How they are looking? Shyamavadhataha means, Avadhata means, you tell me the meanings of this. I am quickly asking. Shyamavadhataha, what is the meaning? Huh? Shyama. So their color is, what kind of color? Their color, their bodily hue is what? Sky bluish. Sky bluish complexion they have. Okay. And how their eyes? Satapatra Lochana means their eyes are like lotus flowers. And what kind of clothes they wore? Yellow garments. What is the meaning of Surichi? Surichaha Supeshaha. That means they are very attractive. And how many hands they have? 4. Sarve Chaturbhahava. And What kind of things they are wearing? Pearl necklace. Pravekanishka and all sorts. This is like this. They are Vaikuntavasis. Next sloka. Pravala Vaidurya Mrunala Varchasaha Parispurat Kundala Mauli Malinaha. What kind of earrings they are wearing? Corals and diamonds. And what kind of garlands? Yeah. They are wearing earrings of what actually? So, Parispurat Kundala Mauli Malinaha. Malinaha means they are wearing garland, and Kundala means they are having earrings, and also Pravala Vaidurya Mrunala Varchasaha means they are effulgent. Corals and diamonds, they are effulgent, like that. Okay, next. Brajishnubhirya Parito Virajate लसद्विमानावलिभिर्महात्मनाम् विद्योतमानः प्रमुदोत्तमाद्युभिः सविद्युदभ्रावलिभिर्यथा नभः. Right. Sarvasa Sangru translation.
The Vaikuntha planets are also surrounded by various airplanes, all glowing and brilliantly situated. These airplanes belong to the great Mahatmas or devotees of the Lord. The ladies are as beautiful as lightning because of their celestial complexions, and all these combined together appear just like the sky, decorated with both clouds and lightning.
Yeah, now see how that Vaikuntha planet is filled with numerous airplanes. All they are flying on the airplanes. Brajishnubihi yaha parito virajate. Lasad vimanavali. That means vimana means airplanes. Vali means this rows. There are so many rows of the airplanes. I was also thinking in the traffic is jamming na in the in Earth planet also. There should be some small airplane. Also. Flying cars like that. Already came actually some technology. Just you can stand on that and start it and you can fly. ऐसा अच्छा 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 future okay. By hearing these things they will get inspiration to design that kind of. So there are airplanes actually like this, they are flying. These all Mahatmas, great devotees, they are flying. And also how the ladies are there, Mirupatiga. They are like Mirupatigalu. Means like lightning. And also what is their celestial complexions. Vidyotamana pramudottamadhyubhi savidyutabhravalibhir yatha nabha. Now how the sky is looking? Now the sky is looking like it is decorated with the, because of these are all flying now. So these ladies are so beautiful and they are like lightning. And this man is a sky bluish color. So it is like cloud is decorated with the this kind of cloud. Sky is blue, decorated with the this kind of clouds and lightning. It is looking like that in the Vaikuntha. Next. Sriryatra rupinyurugaya padayo karoti manam bahuda vibhutibi prenkham sritaya kusuma karanugair Vigiyamana priya karma gayati. So what Lakshmi is doing there? See the translation. The goddess of fortune in her transcendental form is engaged in the loving service of the Lord's lotus feet. And being moved by the black bees, followers of spring, she is not only engaged in variegated pleasure service to the Lord along with her constant companies, but is also engaged in singing the glories of the Lord's activities. So she is massaging the Lord's lotus feet, and also, so she is motivated by the bees. These bees, they are always singing the Lord's glories, and by hearing that, she's also got inspiration, and she keep on singing about the Lord's glories along with her companions, constant companions. So like this, you should imagine. You can do imagine only, we cannot see. When your heart is purified, then you can directly see. You can make a concept, that's all. We cannot see now. Then what happened? Dadarsha tatra kila sattvatam patim Sriyah patim yagnapatim jagatpatim Sunandananda prabalarhanadibhi Shwaparshadagraihi parisevitam vibhum. Radha Govardhan Prabhu, translation.
Lord Brahma saw in the Vaikuntha planets the personality of Godhead, who is the Lord of the entire devotee community, the Lord of the goddess of fortune, the Lord of all sacrifices, and the Lord of the universe, and who is served by the foremost servitors like Nand, Sunand, Prabal, and Arhana, his immediate associates.
Yeah. Now Lakshmi also, Brahmaji, actually Lord is showing this Vaikuntha and Brahma is seeing all this. Whatever Brahma is seeing, that is explained by the Sukadeva Goswami to the Parikshit. So now Brahmaji, what he is seeing? There he saw, Dadarsha means saw. Who saw? Brahma saw. Arey, Lord. Brahma saw. So Brahma saw, what he saw? He saw the Lord. Sriyah patim, yagna patim, jagat patim, sattvatam patim, akhila sattvatam patim. That means he's a pati, he's a master of all the devotees. Sriyah pati, he's a master of Lakshmi. Yagnapati, he is the master of all the yajnas. Jagatpati, he is the master of entire universe. And he is surrounded by whom? Sunanda, Nanda, Prabala, Arhana. 4. Sunanda, Nanda, Sunanda, Prabala, Arhana. So these are the Parshadas, very constant companions. And they are all serving. He is surrounded by these 4. Okay, now Jiva Goswami is giving more other information here. So 16th sloka, 16th slokas, Krama Sandarbha, if you see, Chatasraha Sektaya. Acha. Acha. 15th this is. 16th next. Huh? Numbering is different from here to there. One second. Durga Sava. Okay, next 17th sloka actually. This is okay. So like this, Lord is surrounded by these 4 kinds of the servants. Next, Brutya Prasadha Bimukam Drugasavam ప్రసన్నహాసారుణలోచనాననం కిరీటినం కుండలినం చతుర్భుజం పీతాంశుకం వక్షసి లక్షితం శ్రియా. కృష్ణ కిషోర్ ప్రభు. స్లీపింగ్ sleeping or otherwise is this picture? I am not even. I
just lost. I just lost the.
Yeah. What a picture you kept actually. Very nice. It's looking that you are sitting and seeing. Kishora, tell. Read the translation.
Just I missed Prabhu.
Yeah. Huh? You are very smart, Prabhu. 16 sloka. Read the translation.
The personality of Godhead, seen leaning favorably toward his loving servitors, his very sight intoxicating and attractive, appeared to be very much satisfied. He had a smiling face decorated with an enchanting reddish hue. He was dressed in yellow robes and wore earrings and helmet on his head. He had 4 hands and his chest was marked with lines of goddess of fortune.
Yeah. So here further Lord is described here. Bhrutya prasadhabhimukam drugasavam prasanna. So what is the meaning of Bhrutya prasadhabhimukam? His face is, so his looks leaning towards the favorably towards his loving service. That means he is very nicely, very lovingly he is seeing towards his servants. Drugasavam, and that is intoxication. That means the very sight intoxication. That means the Lord is so lovingly he is seeing towards his servants, and that is like a it is like intoxication. They are drinking that lookings of the Lord. So beautifully is seeing, and they are drinking that. And also how his face. How his face. Prasanna hasaruna lochanana. What is the meaning of this? अरे कुछ बोलते नहीं है. How many mics are there? 3 mics are there. Keep 3 mics and speak. Dhanan.
He had a smiling face decorated with an enchanting reddish hue.
Yeah, his face is smiling face. Prasanna hasa aruna means reddish hue. Where is reddish hue? Where it is there? Reddishness is where it is there. Huh? Reddishness where it is there? In the lips, He's a black boy, and where is the reddishness? Only lips. And also his cheeks. Cheeks also reddish or not? Did you see anywhere? So Prasanna Hasa Aruna. What Vishwanath is giving? 1 second. But another 10 minutes extra I will take. Only. I was thinking to take more, but anyway, I'm merciful and eyes, Okay, eyes. Eyes are red. Next, Kiritinam Kundilinam. He is having the Kirita, Mukut, that means helmet. And also Kundalas. And Chaturbhujam, 4 hands. Pitam Shukam, wearing the yellow garments. And Vakshasi Lakshitam Shriya. There is a one Sri Vatsa. So goddess of fortune. The line of goddess of fortune is there. So this is the thing. One more sloka. This we'll discuss and finish. Adyarhaniyasanamasthitham param vratam chatushodasha panchashaktibihi yuktam bhagai svairitharatra chadruvaihi saeva dhaman ramamanameshwaram. Nityamukundan Prabhu.
The Lord was seated on his throne and was surrounded by different energies like the 4, the 16, the 5, and the 6 natural opulences, along with other insignificant energies of the temporary character. But he was the factual Supreme Lord enjoying his own abode.
So, yeah, Lord is sitting in his own place. Adyarhaniyam, Adyarhaniyas asanam astitam. That means he is sitting in a worshipable place. Lord was seated in his throne, which was worshipable. Adyarhaniyam. That means greatly worshipable. Lord is sitting on such a great singhasan, so which is worshipable. And also he is surrounded with 4 Chatushodasha Pancha Shaktibihi. How many? 4 plus 16 plus 5. 25. 25. So 4, 16 plus 5. Yeah. And also Yuktam Bhagaihi. And also he is surrounded with the Bhagas. Saeva Dhaman Ramamanamishwaram. So he is but he is a factual Supreme Lord, enjoying his own abode. He is the real enjoyer. So now what is the Shaktis? 4, 16 and 5. That we have to discuss. That we'll discuss and finish. 4, 16, 5. What are those? Now we'll discuss this. Now I will ask question on this. Describe the Lord's form, the way Brahmaji saw in describe the Lord's form based upon based on the vision of Brahma. Is it? Write it. No. Only Lord's form. Only Lord's form is you should write from the from 15, 16, 17. Marks 5. That you have to write everything. Included. Bhagavad Avirbhava, I said na, that 15 marks, everything you should write. This is for 5 marks. If I ask that, I will not ask this. If I ask this, that I will not ask. Aisa. Yes. Now, what are the 4, 16, 5? Quickly, you see this. Finish it. What are those? 4. Chatastra. According to the Jiva Goswami, write it. What are that 4 Shaktis? Total how many? 4, 16 plus 5. First 4 you write. 4 are the Dharmadhyaha. Dharmadhyaha. What is that Dharmadhyaha? Padmottar Yogapite te eva kattaha na bahirangaha adharmadhyah iti. That means tatahi dharma gnana tatha aishwarya vairagya pada vigrahaihi rugya. Now we are going to see those Shaktis which are surrounding the Lord. Shaktis which are surrounding the Lord. Four. First four. What is that? Dharmadhyaha. That means Dharma, Gnana, Aishwarya, Vairagya. Aishwarya and Vairagya. These four. My क्या बोला actually? According to Jiva Goswami, I said or not? What I said? That we'll ask from everyone actually. Don't worry. Okay. Next, Rug Yajus Sama Atharva Atharvana Rupaihi Nityam Vratam Kramat iti Samastantasta Tatha Shabda Prayoga Shodash Shakti. Now 16. What are those 16? Shaktayaha Chandadyaha. What is that? Chandadi. Who are those? Chanda Prachanda Pragdware Yamye Subhad. How many directions are there? Total 8 directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. First you should take front Prak Pragdwara. Hey, there two are there. What are those? Chanda and Prachanda. These are Shaktis actually. So protecting Shaktis. And Yamye. Yamya means which direction that is? Can anyone English directions tell me? Yamya. In English translation, it is given. Tell me quickly. Bhadra and Subhadra. Huh? Southern. Southern. Prak means eastern. Eastern gate. Bhadra and Subhadra. And next, which gate that is? Varuna. Varunyam Jaya Vijaya. Varuni. That means western gate. Jaya and Vijaya. In this gate actually, through this gate only they went. Chatush Kumaras. Western gate. And next, Saumya. Which direction this is? Northern. Who are that? Dhruta, Vidhata. Dhruta and Vidhata. And next, Kumudaha, Kumudakshaha. Pundariko atho Vamanaha. Shankar. Next, Kumudaha. Kumudaha, Kumudaksha. Southeast. Next, Pundarikaha. Pundarikaha Vamanaha. Next, Shankakaranaha Sarvanetraha. Shankakaranaha Karnanetraha na? Karnanetraha. Final? Sarvanetraha. Acha, Sarvanetraha. Next, Sumukha Supratishta. Supratishta. Which gates? Northeast. You should find this from other Purana. Maybe so east and east to south. Next southeast bolte na, actually east south nahi bolte. Southeast, I don't know, but you should find southeast. Next southwest. Next northeast and northwest. You should find whether this is right or wrong. These are the 16 who is finished, 16 energies. And how many are remaining? 5. What are those 5? Pancha Shakteha Kurmadhyaha. Kurma. Kurmadhyaha. Who are those? Exactly. Kurmaha, Nagarajaha, Vainateyaha, Trayishwaraha, Vainiteya is Trayishwaraha, Chandamsi, Sarva Mantraha. These are the 5. 5 are another 5. 16 is over. Next, who are there? 5 are there. 5 are first. Who are those 5 Shaktis? One is the Kurma. Kurmaha. Next, Nagaraj. Adishesh. Anantshesh. Next, Garuda. He is a, okay. Next, Chandamsya, Vedas. Vedas. Next, mantras. All the mantras. These are the 5. How to know this? Actually, these. Actually, you know, Pita Puja. While you worship the Vishnu, actually traditional system, there will be a Pita. There inside this Lord is sitting in the Singhasan here. And then surrounding to him, all the energies are surrounded. So this is the east, south, west, north. So this side, east side Chanda Prachanda, this Bhadra Subhadra, south, west Jaya Vijaya, and next Druta Vidhata. Druta Vidhata. Then what next? Here it is southeast start. Southeast, this through Kumuda and this is so southwest. This is southwest, and then northeast. So northwest first it will come. It is northwest, and this is the northeast. Next northwest and northeast. These other two will be there. Then apart from this, another 5 energies. These 4 are also inside here somewhere. This is Vishnu. Like Pita Puja, you can understand actually these energies. How can you figure out? In the Padma Purana, Pita Puja explained. So from there, Yoga Pita. So from there, you can understand this. Okay. Clear? Not clear. What are the 4, 16 plus 5? According to Jiva Goswami Visa. Now we'll see the according to the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. 2 minutes. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, energy is surrounded. What is a clear nahi? Gajab bol rahe hain aap. So in this, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, what he is saying? So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, little one change will be there actually. Wait. So according to these 6 Shaktis, Lord is surrounded. This is Lord, and he is surrounded with various energies. These are all. Energies means they are all. So Parshadas means energies. So those energies are surrounded by him. And yeah, that is the point. पंचशक्तयः कूर्माद्यः तदैव कूर्मस्य नागराज ओके इति तत्र ईश्वरः इति वैनितेः विशेषणं चतस्रः मीन्स प्रकृति पुरुष महत् अहंकार रूपाः षोडश एकादशेन्द्रिय महाभूताख्याः पंचतन्मात्र रूपाः शक्तयः याः ताभिः वृतम् इति स्वामिचरणानां व्याख्या च न असंगता मायापि तत्र महदादिभिः सह भक्तिं कुर्वाण तिष्ठत्येव Tripa, our Swamiji is saying is one miracle, one very important point. This is clear, Jiva Goswamis. Now we are going to see another way of explanation. It is not clearing. Duster is not clearing. It is giving more dirt. It is. Huh? ठीक है, कोई problem नहीं, चलो. Srila, if you see Sridhar Swami commentary on this, what he is saying, Swami, what he said, Swami is saying that 4 means, that means Lord is surrounded by the 4 plus 16 plus 5 energies, na? Total. What is this 4? 4 energies are, he is saying that Prakriti, Purushaha, Mahat, Ahankara. 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 Okay, 4. Prakriti, Purusha, Mahat, Ahankara. And 16 what? Shodasha, Shodasha idhar Ekadeshendriya, Pancha Mahabhutaha, and Panchatanmatra Rupaha, Ya Shaktihi, Tabhir Vrutam. That means 11 senses, 11 senses, na? 5 plus 5 plus 1. 11 working senses, 5 working senses, 5 knowledge senses, and 1 is mind. Okay, 11 senses plus 1 is Pancha Mahabhutaha, 5 gross elements. Okay. That means these gross elements, that means that's Pancha. You can also alternatively you can say these are all is 5 Tanmatras, Pancha Tanmatras. So known as these Pancha Tanmatras are only known as the Pancha Mahabhutas. Actually, they are interconnected, these two. Okay, next 16 is over. 11 plus 5, 16. And if you don't count these, they are separately. Either of this or that. Okay, because from the Tanmatras only the gross elements are coming. So that's the Tanmatras are known as gross. So next, what is that? 5. What are those 5? Huh? Okay, Panch Tanmatras are taken later. Sorry. 5 Tanmatras. They are surrounding the Lord. So now the question is, Swamiji is saying, who is saying like this? Sridhar Swami. Now question is raised, how it is possible? In the spiritual world, how these material elements are there? So that is a question of Pitambar Chaitanya Prabhu. Now it is answered by the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Open that. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, yeah. So, Swami Charananam Vyakya cha na asangata. That means it is sangata. It is also right. Why it is right? Mayapi tatra mahadadibihi saha bhaktim kurvana tishtati. That means we learn actually ajanajana devatas. That means all these energies actually are having their adhisthana devatas. Adhisthana devatas are there for all these. We understood or not? When Karananamsaya Vishnu glanced on the Prakriti and it created 23 elements, and all these 23 elements are having different adhisthana devatas. And those you should consider here. That means here Prakriti means you should take the adhisthana devata of the Prakriti. And they are all devotees. And they are staying there. And their expansions are there here in this material world, and they are controlling. So simultaneously, the 2 times there is possible. So it's like Prakasha. Their Prakasha is controlling here. So that's why whatever Swamiji said, that is not wrong. Swamiji said whatever Swamiji said, that is also correct.